It was late evening, the golden lights of the diner flickering against the rain-soaked windows. Jack wiped his hands with a towel after a long day of work. He was a single dad, working double shifts at a car repair shop, and this little diner was where he stopped every night to get something cheap to eat before heading home to his 8-year-old daughter, Emma. That night, like many before, he noticed her again. A frail girl in an old wheelchair, her clothes faded and wet from the drizzle outside. She sat near the back alley, always quiet, waiting until the customers left. Then she would roll inside shyly and whisper to the waitress, "Do you have any leftovers today?" Her voice was soft, almost broken, but her eyes carried something deeper, hunger mixed with shame. Most people ignored her. Some whispered things like, "She's always here, probably pretending." Others shook their heads in pity but never helped. But Jack, he noticed her every single time. That night, something inside him couldn't let go. When she rolled away from the diner, holding a small paper bag of leftovers, Jack quickly paid his bill and followed her from a distance. He didn't know why. Maybe curiosity, maybe something about her eyes that reminded him of his late wife. The rain started falling harder. She struggled to push her wheelchair over the uneven sidewalk, her thin hands trembling. He wanted to help but didn't want to frighten her, so he kept his distance. Finally, she turned down a narrow alleyway behind an old abandoned building. Jack frowned. It wasn't a safe area. He stepped closer, careful not to startle her. She disappeared through a broken metal gate, and when he peeked inside, his heart froze. Under a small shelter made of plastic sheets and cardboard boxes sat a little boy, no older than 5, coughing quietly. His legs were covered with a thin blanket, and his tiny hands reached out as the girl entered. "Here, Tommy," she whispered, taking the food out of the bag. "They gave us some soup tonight, it's warm." The boy smiled weakly. "You didn't eat again, did you?" "I'll eat after you," she said, forcing a smile. Jack felt a lump in his throat. She wasn't begging for herself, she was begging for him. The rain grew heavier. Jack stepped forward, his voice trembling, "Excuse me." The girl gasped and turned her wheelchair quickly. "I'm sorry, sir. I wasn't stealing anything. We'll leave, I promise." Jack raised his hands gently. No, it's okay. I saw you at the diner. You always ask for leftovers. You shouldn't be out here like this." Her eyes filled with tears. "We don't have anywhere else to go. After the accident, no one wanted to hire me. My brother's all I have." Jack knelt beside her. "Accident?" She nodded slowly. "A car hit me 2 years ago. I lost my ability to walk. My parents, they didn't make it." Her voice cracked. "The doctors said I'd recover if I could afford therapy, but I couldn't even afford rent, so we ended up here." The rainwater dripped from the edge of her old coat, and Jack felt something deep inside break. He took off his jacket and placed it over the boy. "You shouldn't be living like this," he said softly. "Come with me." Her eyes widened. "No, we can't. People always promise to help, then disappear. I don't want my brother to hope for something that won't happen." Jack shook his head firmly. "I don't make promises I can't keep." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small photo, him and Emma. "I'm a single dad too. My little girl needs friends, and I think she'd love to meet you both." For a moment, silence filled the air except for the sound of rain. Then the boy, Tommy, tugged at his sister's sleeve and whispered, "Maybe we can trust him, Lily." Lily looked into Jack's eyes and saw no pity, just honesty. She nodded weakly. "Okay, but just for tonight." Jack smiled, "Just for tonight." When they arrived at Jack's small home, Emma ran to the door, rubbing her sleepy eyes. "Daddy, you're late." Then she noticed Lily and Tommy. "Who are they?" Jack smiled. "Friends who needed a warm place tonight." Without hesitation, Emma ran to Tommy and handed him her teddy bear. "You can sleep with Mr. Cuddles. He keeps nightmares away." Lily's eyes glistened with tears. She tried to say thank you, but emotion caught in her throat. That night, Jack made soup for everyone. Lily hesitated to eat, feeling like an intruder, but Emma giggled and said, "You have to eat fast or Daddy will finish it all." For the first time in years, Lily laughed, a real laugh that warmed the small living room. After dinner, as everyone slept, Jack sat on the couch, staring at Lily's wheelchair near the fire. He couldn't stop thinking about her story. The next morning, he called in a favor from a friend who worked at a hospital. "I need help," he said. "There's a young woman. She can't walk, but she deserves a chance." The hospital agreed to check her for free under a charity program. When he told Lily, she burst into tears. "Why are you doing all this for me?" Jack smiled softly. "Because someone once helped me when I was lost. Now it's my turn." Weeks passed. Lily started physical therapy. The progress was slow, painful, but she never gave up. Tommy played with Emma every day after school, and laughter slowly filled the house that once felt empty. One evening, as Lily tried to stand for the first time, she nearly fell, but Jack was there catching her. "I told you I'd walk again," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "You never stopped believing," he replied, holding her steady. When she finally took her first step weeks later, Emma and Tommy cheered, jumping around the room. Lily looked at Jack, her voice trembling. "You gave me back more than my legs. You gave me a family." Jack smiled, eyes shining. "No, Lily, you gave us one." Months later, on Christmas Eve, Jack, Emma, Lily, and Tommy sat together under a small glowing tree. Snow fell softly outside, and laughter filled the air. As the clock struck midnight, Lily whispered a silent prayer of gratitude. Once she had begged for leftovers just to survive. Now she had found warmth, dignity, and love. Not from miracles, but from one man's simple act of kindness. And Jack. He realized that sometimes, the people who appear broken are the ones who teach you how to heal. That night, as he looked at Lily smiling beside the fire, he knew one thing for sure. Following her that rainy evening had changed all of their lives forever. Red.